What's up, you guys? It's Our Human Music here, and in today's video we are going to be doing my vinyl collection video. Now, just for starters, I do have a little bit of colored vinyl, a little bit of black vinyl, and the way that I will be showing you guys these is in order from when I got them. So the first one is the first one I got. Number 15 is the last one that I got for this record video, but anyways, I don't have the biggest record collection. I only have 15 that I'm going to show you guys today. Since the filming of this video, I've actually already picked up 2 more records, so that'll be in a record update video. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into my collection. If it is a colored record, I'll go ahead and show you guys. Most likely if it's a black record, I won't show you guys unless it's got something cool on it. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into the video. So the first record in my collection was 3 Days Grace's 1X album. This is an amazing album. I never really fully listened to that album until I got my record player, and I honestly love it. It's very good. It's probably my favorite 3 Days Grace album. Favorite song on it, that's going to be a tough one. Maybe the title track 1X, or maybe also Pain. I know that that's probably overplayed right now, but Pain was a good one. And this one is a colored record. Yeah, get that. My first record was a colored record. It was pressed on this nice red color. Both sides are red, 2-sided disc, and it's only a 1-disc LP. But like I said, it's a great album. I come back to it quite often, actually, and this wasn't the first record I spun on my record, because I actually already had 3 records before I had my record player. So this one was probably like the second record I ever played. But great album right here. If you guys do not have it yet in your collection, I highly recommend it. Great album, like I said, and excited that it's in mine. Next up, we have the first album that I got from my favorite band, Fall Out Boy's Save Rock and Roll. This one is actually a pretty special album to me. This is really the album that got me deeply into the Fall Out Boy level that I'm at today. Some great songs on this. I'd probably have to say my favorite song on this one is either Missing You or even the title track, Save Rock and Roll. Great album. Actually, Save Rock and Roll is my dad's favorite Fall Out Boy song of all time. And this one is my only 10-inch that I own. It was a little weird that I saw that it came on 10-inch, but it is colored 10-inch. It's this nice translucent red kind of looking thing with the Fall Out Boy crown in the middle of it, and I really do enjoy this album. I spun it a couple days ago. It sounds great on vinyl, by the way. You know, like how there's some records that are just made to be on vinyl. I think that this one sounds amazing on vinyl. If you guys are a big Fall Out Boy fan and you liked this album, I definitely recommend getting it. Like I said, this was the second one I ever got, and yeah, it was pretty exciting that I was able to pick this up. By the way, I picked up this and 1X at a record store. I'm also going to try to tell you guys where I picked these up at as well. Next up is a record from another one of my favorite bands, 21 Pilots' Blurryface. I also picked this up at the same record store that I picked up the other 2. This album is great. I still can't decide what is my favorite 21 Pilots album between Vessel and Blurryface, but I did see Blurryface there, and I feel like that this one's a little bit harder to find than Vessel is. So when I found it, I was like, oh, I gotta pick it up. It's a great album. Love it. And I love this album cover because, like, you can slide each piece out. Like, that comes out as a translucent thing. The little thing behind it comes out as well. The records themselves are just plain black, but that's okay. I know that there's been colored pressings of this, like a black and red one, which would be cool to have, but I do think that black fits the aesthetic of the record pretty good. My favorite song on this one would probably either have to be Goner, such a deep song, such a good song, Lane Boy, or maybe even Heavy Dirty Soul. But like I said, Blurryface is such a great album. If you guys have only heard Stressed Out by 21 Pilots, or maybe even Heathens by 21 Pilots, you guys are really missing out on this band. This one has a gatefold. I'll go back and show you guys the Fall Out Boy gatefold. But here's what the gatefold looks like. It's got like these acknowledgements over here, and then a thank you just to everybody who made the album possible, even like a little thank you to the fans. So I think that is pretty cool as well. For some reason it's not wanting to close now. And like I said, we'll go back to the Fall Out Boy one real quick. Here's what the gatefold looks like. It's pretty sweet. With like the little bit of blood running down it from like the Young Blood Chronicles, I'm guessing. But yeah, like I said, good album. Both of those are. Highly recommend you go pick them up. Next up on the list was one that I never thought that I was actually going to own because I was never really a big fan of the music until I started listening to this album. This one's going to be Ed Sheeran's Divide album. This is a great album just to put on and listen to and chill out. Love the album. I kind of wish that the disc looked like the album cover, but it's not. It's just a plain black disc, which is okay. Fun fact about this record is the only one that plays on the 45 speed on my turntable. The other ones play on 33.5, but this is the only one that plays on 45. I heard that all Ed Sheeran records do that. I'm looking to possibly pick up Plus by Ed Sheeran as well. Maybe Multiply, but I'm not 100% sure about that. This one has a gatefold as well. It's kind of cool. It's got Ed Sheeran in his albums that he's already got, Plus, Multiply, and Divide. Over here we have lyrics to one of the songs, which is Castle on the Hill. And if I actually get in here, the sleeves are kind of cool for this album as well. It's got lyrics on the sleeves, and like I said, this one is just plain bold. If I had to say what is my favorite song on this album, I'd probably have to say Perfect is my favorite song on this album. It's a beautiful song if you guys have never heard it. Here's what the back looks like. So like I said, my favorite song on this one is probably Perfect. Overall, great album. If you guys have not heard this, this actually at the Grammys just won, I think it was Pop Album of the Year, so definitely go check it out. It's a great album. Alright, so my next record in my collection, I actually have a funny story to. My next record is Nirvana's Nevermind. This is a great album. I never really realized it until I spun it and listened to it. So the funny story here is me and my friend Luke actually bought each other records for Christmas, and I bought him this for Christmas because I didn't think that he had it yet. And then Christmas, his parents got it for him, so I had to run out and get him another record. I picked him up a Sublime record. Not 100% sure what the title of it was, but I picked that up for him, and I ended up keeping this for myself, which I'm glad I am because this is probably my favorite Nirvana album. My favorite song on it is probably Come As You Are. This is pressed on 180 black vinyl, so it sounds great, high quality, and it's just a great album, so I'm glad I have it in my collection, and it's kind of like an iconic album. Everybody has seen this album cover before, and it's a really good Nirvana album. Next up is actually the gift that he got me for Christmas. This is Fall Out Boy's Infinity on High. This is a great Fall Out Boy record. I'd probably say that this is my second Fall Out Boy, my second favorite Fall Out Boy album. I love the album artwork on this one. It's just so amazing, like the colors and stuff. But the gatefold is even better on this one. Look at that. I think the gatefold looks amazing on this. You got all the members of the band and stuff like that. And then you also have the back where all the members of the band are. This one is pressed on just regular black vinyl. Which is okay. I don't really need a limited edition for this one. If I really wanted it, I'd go back and get it. Plus, I technically got this for free because it was a gift. So thank you, Luke, for getting me this because this is one of my favorite Fall Out Boy records. My favorite song on this album has got to be Thriller. I love Thriller. I was actually lucky enough to get to hear them play it live, but I wish that they would play it live again. But Infinity on High, great album. Alright, so the next three records I'm going to show you, I actually got all on the same day, included with my Infinity on High record. My friend Luke picked me up a gift card to our record store, which is FYE. So I went ahead and picked up a couple records with that. The first one I picked up was Panic at the Disco's Too Weird to Live, Too Rare to Die. This is another fantastic album. Sadly, I did not get my hands on the Hot Topic exclusive pressing of this. This is just the standard black edition, but still one of my favorite Panic albums to date, maybe my favorite Panic album. Some great songs on this one, like This Is Gospel, Miss Jackson, Vegas Lights. My favorite one on this one though would probably have to be This Is Gospel, just because it's a great song. I think every Panic fan loves This Is Gospel, and yeah, I just love this album so much. I think it's amazing. It's kind of about his hometown Vegas. In a way, you actually can see Vegas in the background back there. So yeah, love this album. And on that same day, they also had another Panic album I went ahead and picked up, and this is Death of a Bachelor. This one is just on black vinyl. I don't know if do they have any exclusive pressings of this album that are colored? I don't think so. I've never seen them. But like I said, this one is just plain black. My favorite song on this one would probably have to be LA Diva T or The Good, the Bad, and the Dirty. Another great album by Panic, a little bit of a different album by them since Brendan Urie did all the work for it. Still a good album. This is their most recent release, unless you count All My Friends Are Glorious, which is the live edition pretty much of this album, a little bit of some of their past albums. But yeah, good album nonetheless. I like it. Probably not my favorite Panic album, like I said. I think that's Fever, but it's still a good album. Or not Fever, Too Weird to Live, Too Rare to Die, but still a good album. Next up, we have one of the rarer records in my collection. This is Paris's All We Know From Heaven and All We Need From Hell. Paris is an amazing band. I actually heard them live opening for Fall Out Boy at the Wintour concert. So when I heard that they were coming out with a new album, I had to pick this up, and I actually prefer this over their debut album, White Noise. This is actually a fantastic album. I picked it up because it's a limited edition pressing. This is one of only 1,500 pressed, so I was very lucky to actually get my hands on this one. Here is what the gatefold looks like. It's got all the lyrics in it and a couple of different pictures of the band, as you guys can see right there. My favorite song on this one would probably have to be the opening track, Heaven. It's such a good song, and I'll go ahead and show you guys the limited edition pressing up. So here's what it looks like. It's kind of like a clear, kind of, with white splatter on it. It's an amazing looking record. I love it. It's actually upside down. So it's an amazing looking record. I love it. And if you guys have never heard of the band Paris, they're amazing. Don't misspell it though, because they had like copyright issues with how it's spelled and stuff like that. So they had to change their name of their spelling. But they're pronounced Paris. Great album right here. I highly recommend you guys listen to it. And like I said, look at how beautiful this disc is. Up next, we have what I am calling my favorite Fall Out Boy album, Fall Out Boy's Folie à Deux. This is a great album. I love it so much. I never really appreciated this album when it first came out because I never was a huge Fall Out Boy fan. Like I said, Save Rock and Roll really got me into Fall Out Boy. And I kind of didn't even know that this album came out until I started listening to I Don't Care. But this album is great. I love this album. There is not a single song on this album that I would skip. I spun it for the first time on vinyl, and that was the first time I heard the entire album. My favorite song on this one is probably either What a Catch or Disloyal Order of Water Buffaloes, which I did get to actually hear that song live, which was amazing. This one is a limited edition pressing. They have it up on Amazon right now. They've had it up on Amazon for a while now. I see a lot of record collectors actually, or vinyl collectors actually have this pressing of it. So the first disc is kind of like the Save Rock and Roll disc in a way. It's that translucent red, a little bit less translucent. Pretty color, I think. I like it. And then the second disc is a color that I don't have in my record collection yet. It's this goldish looking see-through. Really good. I think that both of these discs fits the aesthetic of the album pretty well. Like I said, Folie à Deux is a great album. It's kind of sad to think that that's the reason why Fall Out Boy broke up, because they were changing their sound a little bit. But like I said, I love this album. Moving right along, we have another artist that's kind of upcoming. He's a little bit more popular than he was when I saw him live opening up for 21 Pilots. This is Jon Bellion's The Human Condition. Love this album right here. Like I said, another album that I just don't skip any song on. This is a colored record, and I did pick this up from Amazon as well. This is a 2 LP record, and the color of it is actually my first ever clear vinyl. I know a lot of people don't like clear vinyls, but I'm a fan. I like it. Like I said, Jon Bellion's album here is just amazing. I love it. When I went and saw him, I actually didn't know any of the songs. After I saw him, I thought All Time Low was really catchy, so I started listening to that. And then I dove deeper into the actual album itself, and I love this album. This album is really good. Favorite song on this album is probably maybe iRobot, or maybe even Hand of God. Great album right here. If you guys have actually not heard this, go ahead and go give it a listen. Next up, we have what is probably my favorite All Time Low record ever released. This is All Time Low's Don't Panic, It's Longer Now. A lot of people don't like the It's Longer Now version of this album, but I really do. I enjoy it. I love the extra songs that they put on it, and I love this pressing. This is one of my better looking records as well. But opening it up, here's what the gatefold looks like. You got the band and some stuff going on over here, and then you also have got the back of the record. My favorite song on this one is probably Love Like War or Backseat Serenade. I actually spun this for the first time last night, and the vinyl piece of it just looks amazing. One of my best looking records that I have. Like I said, it's this maroon and white kind of swirl looking thing. It looks amazing. The backside has got more white than red. It just looks awesome. Next up is a iconic album from these people. This is The Black Parade. Now, when I saw this in the record store, you know I could not pass this up. I love this album, and when I was actually listening through this album for the first time, I realized that this album really tells a story about the patient and how he gets diagnosed with cancer, ends up dying at the end of the album, and asking like his lover if she's gonna love him like how she did yesterday. It's an amazing album. I love this album. I'm hoping to do an album review of it very soon. So I love the front of it, how it's a different front than the CD is, and then you open it up and you have the entire cast from The Black Parade, including the patient down here. So here's the front of the disc. Looks the same as all the other ones, but the back of it looks amazing. I don't know if you guys can see this very clearly or not, but this actually looks like the front. Coming down to the wire here, I have two more records to show you. The first of the two being Paramore's new album, After Laughter. This is actually another one of those rare ones that I have. 1 in 10,000 copies, and this is a first edition pressing of this album. Love this album. This is my only Paramore album that I have right now, but I'm hoping to pick up some more here soon. Nice gatefold design on this one as well. Here's what the inside looks like. It's got the members of the band, a little bit of more of those colors. Here's the back of it. Oh, by the way, I'll go back and do that here in a second. But my favorite song on this album probably is Hard Times or Told You So. Great album. I love this, and even better, I love how it looks. I think that it's a tie between the Paris album, the All Time Low album, and this one. I actually think that maybe this one is probably my best looking record. Look at that. It's like kind of like a whitish gray with some black stuff in it. They call it black marble, kind of, and I love this, the way that it spins on the record table. It sounds amazing. And finally, the album that is getting all kinds of mixed reviews online. This is Fall Out Boy's Mania. I picked this up as a pre-order because I saw the pressings that they had going for it. And yeah, very mixed thoughts on this album online. I'm actually going to be putting out my Mania review later on this week. That is, if this video gets uploaded when it's supposed to, on a Tuesday. But I will be posting my Mania review later this week and my thoughts on it. So I'm not really going to give my entire thoughts on it right now. This is on a pressing that is colored. This is on, let's see if I can actually get it out of the sleeve here. This is on this nice purple swirl vinyl. It's actually kind of hard to tell, but there is some different colors in there. You also have the Llamas Stay Frosty and Milk. Isn't that? No, Stay Frosty and Milk Tea or something like that. And yeah, I'm not going to give my entire thoughts on this album yet because I'm going to be doing a album review. I might actually end up be filming that later on today, just so then on Thursday, which is normally my filming day, I get more done. Like I said, I don't know if this Swirl Edition is still available online on their Fall Out Boy store, but it's actually a nice looking record. I didn't expect it to look like that, and I actually have got something cool coming. That's the kind of like front of this album, because even if I don't give my full thoughts on this album, I love the album cover on this one. Something about it just clicked with me when I saw it, and I love it. I'll go ahead and give you guys my favorite song on this one, even though I'll do it in my other one. Wilson Expensive Mistakes is my favorite song on this album because of the concert that we went to, and that we were one of the first people that actually got to hear Wilson Expensive Mistakes. So Mania, I can't give my full thoughts on it yet, but I do have it in my collection. And that is it for now, guys. That is my vinyl collection up to this point. Like I said, I do have 2 more records that I will be including in February's update, so definitely subscribe so you don't miss that. And then I do have a lot of album reviews coming out this week. I have Fall Out Boy Manias, hopefully Water Parks Entertainment, and then also a new album comes out this week that is titled Here Comes the Runts by AWOL Nation. So I will have those 3 reviewed here very soon for you guys. But that's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. If you did, click the like button down below. Subscribe so you don't miss any more vinyl updates or things like that, videos in general that I have got coming out. I've got a lot planned for this account, like I said. It's just been kind of hard with school and stuff to actually get stuff filmed. But today I was able to get it done. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Peace.